right, hello and welcome everyone. I am Dr. Hailey Nelson. I'm your friendly pediatrician who happens to also be Dr. California America. So I'm wearing the sparkly crown and owning it. So happy to be here today. I'm also a mom of three. So when I started off on this journey with Safe Kids Central California, my kids used to tell me that I worried a lot. And recently I've heard that less from them as I've continued to learn safety tips. And then my children have been learning along with me about all of the different things that we've covered over the last few months. So we're circling back and we have a very special guest today who happened to be the first person to join me for the Lunch and Learn series. So McKenzie, thank you for coming back on today.
Of course, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, okay, so tell everybody where you work and kind of what your role is there.
Of course. So like Dr. Nelson said, my name is McKenzie Dern. I am the regional manager of Central California for the Alisa and Ruch Burn Foundation. We are a nonprofit California-based foundation that works with burn survivors and their families through education or burn prevention education.
Yes. And I know that you are busy because after I met you and we did our first episode, I started following the Burn Foundation. So I see all of your posts as well as all the things that we've been posting on Safe Kids. So if you were looking for people to follow on Facebook, McKenzie and we've got you covered.
Yes, we are a very busy organization.
Yes. Okay, so it's October and in thinking about safety topics, one of the things came up is that it's fall. I'm like, I have my pumpkin props here. McKenzie has some props on her side too. So we wanted to have some fun, show some props, but talk about really, holidays and as it's winter, candles and everything pumpkin flavored. But we're talking to someone from the Burn Foundation. So guess what? There's some dangers and things we should cover. So tell us a little bit about candle safety and other things for that.
Of course. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm a pumpkin fanatic. Anything pumpkin spice is right up my alley. And that also includes candles. So with this amazing scent that fills your house and makes it so cozy and comfortable, there are some dangers to having candles. Obviously, when you light the candle, it is an open flame, and having an open flame around kids can be very, very dangerous. Especially when you go to light the candle, if you lean over and your hair catches on fire, then that can be a whole problem. So we caution people that if you do light a candle, make sure that there is nothing over it. So if you have a really cute shelf or anything like that, you want to put it on the very top shelf, so nothing above it. And we also caution to keep it away from curtains and other fall decor or any decor you may have, because candles, as wonderful as they are, can be very dangerous. There have been statistics showing that 1 in 3 home fires started by candles start in a bedroom.
Wow.
Yes, because a lot of times you light a candle in your room and then you might fall asleep, and that is you never want to leave a candle unattended.
Okay, so I didn't realize it was that high. Can we hold on for a second? 1 in 3 home fires are from candles. Like, okay. That's a big number. I like the smell. There are other ways though that you can have kind of that cozy feel as it's becoming fall. So the warmer ones, that's the light bulb that melts the wax, or the plug-in things might be a better option so that you aren't one of those 1 in 3. And you also mentioned burns and children, as well as like just your own hair leaning over it. But I gotta say, pets goes on that list too. It just takes the dog running into the shelf to like knock something over, or your cat. Like, I don't know. Animals are for children sometimes and can cause just as much mischief. So
yeah, I definitely had a candle that was burning for a little while. So there was a nice layer of liquid wax, and my dog was playing with its toy. And as he was shaking it, it flew out of his mouth, knocked over my candle, and there was hot wax everywhere. So I'm just thankful that no one was by the candle, so no one got burned. So just keep that in mind. Keep your candles away from kids and pets.
Right, exactly. And then no one got burned, but like that candle wax was a pain to clean up.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm still cleaning it up.
All right. So if we do happen to, either from a candle or something else, the smoke alarm starts going off. I actually just saw the post about the different sounds that smoke alarms make. So whether it's the chirping versus, can you tell us a little bit more? I know you've got your little prop there for if you hear a noise, what it means, and then what we should do.
Yes. So I have my handy smoke alarm. It's actually the one from this room. So there are different noises that you might hear. So if you hear a chirping, that means that the battery is dead or dying. So on most smoke alarms, if you flip it over on the back, there's a little tab and you just pull it and then the battery comes out and you can exchange it. And then you can put a new battery in and then put it right back up. Nowadays, there actually are smoke alarms that will last 10 years. So you put it up and when it starts chirping, there's not a battery that you can change out. You have to change out the entire contraption. So
all right.
A good rule of thumb that I practice when it comes to battery maintenance is every time I change the clock for daylight savings, I change the battery in my smoke detector. Even though it might not be time, it might not be chirping at me, but I don't want it to start chirping and then die and then there'll be a fire. So.
Right. Well, and can I just say, like, I feel like the chirping always happens in the middle of the night. It's never convenient when you're home from work and can go get the ladder and then climb up and do it. No, it's like that 2 a.m. window, and then it decides that's when that battery is going to die. So you can just skip that step, change your batteries with daylight savings. So that's coming up in November. And I know we'll make some posts about it and remind people, like, hey, just change your batteries. And then that half used battery, or whatever portion of the battery gets used, I don't actually know. But you've got those batteries. They can go in kids' toys. They can go in other items that are not essential for your safety, the way a smoke alarm is, to be able to really warn you if there is danger. So,
exactly.
good reminder.
And then if a smoke alarm does go off, and you will definitely know the difference between the chirping and the alarm, that is a signal that there is a fire in your house. There's smoke filling the room. So that is your sign to get out as fast as you can. Yes.
Okay. And then the exit plan, though, because it's not just like, oh, it's going off and we all run in circles, or like, that there should actually be a plan to this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So they say that when your smoke alarm goes off, you have a minute to 2 minutes to get out of your house. So with that being said, it can be a super frantic time, and having a plan prior can save lives, can save your belongings. So what we tell people is whether you have kids or not. I don't have kids. I live by myself, but I still have an escape plan in my own house that I practice, and my neighbors probably think I'm crazy, but I want to be safe. So we say that you should map out your house, and then in every room, you should have 2 ways out. So whether that is the door or the window. And if you have a 2-story house, we recommend that the top story rooms have these collapsible ladders that you can just throw out your window and then you can climb down to safety, because we don't recommend jumping out of a window because that can cause more harm than good. But we really do encourage parents to sit down with their kids and talk to them about this, because the whole concept of fires can be really, really scary to kids. but being able to sit down with them in a calm situation and saying, hey, if this bad thing happens, this is what we're going to do. We are going to either feel the door. If it's hot, that means there's fire on the other side. We're not going to go out the door. We're going to go out our window. And then one of the biggest things is having a meeting place. So as a kid, when I lived with my parents, our meeting place was our neighbor's driveway across the street. It was far enough away from our house if it caught on fire. And it was a place where we all knew if anything happened, we go there. And not only is that a good meeting place for your family, you're able to let the fire department know, hey, this is our meeting place. My sister is not here. So that means that she is either inside or is in trouble. So that allows the fire department with their gear to go in and search for that person.
Yeah, so important, that meeting place. And like, we practice it at work, like Charlie Mitchell Clinic here at Valley Children's. We have our plan. We check our patient rooms. There's the person that wears the vest and like where we go and stand in the parking lot. And we have had our drills. I know for kids at school, like that's a thing that they practice, not only the stop, drop, and roll, but how, you know, where they go, and that the teachers count all their little ducks in a row, make sure they have everyone. So doing that at home. And really, with kids being back to school, like ask your child, maybe they've done a fire drill recently and they can educate you. I love doing teach backs and seeing like how much did they retain? Because we know sometimes we talk to them and how much is sticking. So give them a chance to show you what stuck, that can be great. And then from there, talk about what your plan's gonna be.
So we also, highly encourage people that do not go back into the house for any reason. Your pets are smart, they will get out. If a family member is in there, don't go back for them. The fire department they're equipped with life-saving equipment to go in and find that person. So just once you're out, stay out.
Once you're out, stay out. And that's such a like hard thing. And in that moment and that adrenaline rush, I can't imagine being in that situation. And as the mama bear that I am for my, you know, my children, like I feel for individuals who are faced with that fear. And that's why it's, you know, it's so important that that meeting place, that getting that call and getting the helpers who, again, like you said, like they have the equipment, this is their job, and they will help you so that people, you know, can get brought to safety, but that you don't injure yourself or end up dying in the process of trying to save someone else. So leaving it to our professionals, as hard as that is, just reinforcing that part one more time for someone who needs to hear it at some point if you were in crisis. Like,
yeah,
that's a tough one. Okay. Any other, because this is Fire Prevention Week, so what else do you want to share about fire prevention?
Well, one of the our founding principles for our foundation is stop, drop, and roll. And stop, drop, and roll is used when your clothes catch on fire. It is a big thing that we teach in schools through our firefighters in safety education. So if your clothes catch on fire, we tell you to stop whatever you're doing, stop wherever you are, drop to the ground. Important to remember this because a lot of people forget. You want to cover your hand or cover your face with your hands, and you want to roll covering your face. So that is an extra protection for your face so it doesn't get burned. And then you want to roll back and forth on the ground until the flames are out. And then once you are good and put out, then you go and you seek medical attention and go get the treatment that you need. And we also say, this is a fun one that we get to teach to our kids. We call it, how do you cool a burn? And we quiz kids of, okay, do you use ice cream? And everyone in an assembly, they're like, no. And then we go through just a list of random household items that people might think that you use to cool a burn. And even ice. We do not use ice to cool a burn. The only thing is cool water. That is what we use to cool burns and to hold you over until you are able to get to the hospital.
Okay, so ice cream is going to keep you cool in the summer, although I feel like ice cream can be eaten year round. So I'm going to go out there and say that. Absolutely, everything in moderation. But when it comes to cooling a burn on your body, water only.
Only water, yes.
Okay. All right. And then with the stop, drop, and roll, just reinforcing, because we learned a new thing, at least for me. So for anyone else out there who didn't know the part about covering your face. So stop, drop, cover your face while you're rolling to help, not get burns in this area. Like that's a good tip to take home. And I mean, this is why I'm here. I learn something new every time. I am becoming a better doctor with each one of these. So thank you, McKenzie.
Of course.
Tips today.
Hopefully you never have to use it.
I hope so, but I think that someone out there needs these tips. We know, again, the 1 in 3 household fires from candles, like the statistics for some of the safety things that we come on here and we're talking about, and you don't realize how high, like how big of an issue all of this is. And we don't want it to be. I'm a happy pediatrician when I see children for well child checks, and that you don't need me in between. Of course, I'm always here, but if we can prevent some of these things, you don't have to come see me. You don't have to come see my friends in the emergency room. Like that is a win-win. So keeping kids healthy and safe, which is really what we're all about, right?
Exactly. Yes. And we don't want to see any kiddos or adults get burned. So the more burn prevention education we can get out there, the better. And if anyone ever has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. If they need tips, happy to do that as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, we're going to be covering ATV safety. So I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. But for the rest of today, stay safe and be well.
Bye.